Stream is live. There we go.
The countdown takes a while.
It's, each second is like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, apparently. Now we just have 30 more seconds to get to the
We're
last.
almost there.
Welcome to the Flivver Channel live stream. I'm Steven, and on my YouTube channel, Flivver Channel, I explore the quirky and fascinating world of pre-war cars. Joining me today is... We have Vince from Bag of Corner, and we have Zach from Flywheel Supply, special guest. Welcome, Zach.
Hello.
And good to see you again, Vince.
Good to see you, Steven. Hey, Zach.
Sorry about the technical troubles when we were starting this live stream today. Literally 30 seconds before we were supposed to go live, my main camera crapped out, so I'm on a backup camera.
I'm getting just a technical thing here. I'm getting echo. If anyone's got their phone audio turned on, watching the feed on their phone through YouTube, just pause that or silence that phone if you got a phone that's going.
All right. Welcome, viewers who are joining us this evening. Tonight we're having just an informal chat with Zach. Now, Zach, you're in Iowa?
That's correct.
And I believe you and Vince are friends of one another, and that you make new parts for old machines. And is that your business?
That's correct. Yeah, we make parts for primarily for hit and miss gas engines, and then make a lot of boiler and steam control valves for stuff.
Okay. That's great. And is that your whole business? Is parts for those old engines and steam equipment, or is this like a side business?
Oh no, that's our whole business.
Amazing.
Yep.
Now, these hit and miss engines that you're making parts for, are they all hobby engines, or are a lot of these in functional use?
Most of them are for hobby use. The steam and boiler valves, that's for commercial and industrial steam controls and things. So like on the hit and miss side of things, it's mostly a hobby collected by just collectors across the United States and around the world.
Right.
The boiler and steam control valves, we make everything from just a set of gauges that might be on your local high school hot water heater, boiler for keeping the kids in hot water in a shower.
Okay.
Boiler and steam gauges that go on nuclear reactors and ships, vessels, aircraft carriers, refueling setups. We make a wide variety of.
Okay. Is that a bigger part of your business than the hit and miss stuff?
No, actually, it's probably about half and half.
Okay. Interesting.
Every year, it's about a dead split.
That's wild.
So, yep.
So most of our viewers here on the Flivver Channel Live are antique car nuts, but we've all got interest in any old engine and any old machinery and that kind of thing. So I think we'll recognize a lot of what you make. Can you show us some of the photos or videos of some of the parts that you make for your hit and miss engine customers, just so we can Vince and I can take a look at them and comment on where they're similar with antique cars and that sort of thing?
Sure. So I'm actually, maybe before we jump into that, I have some Model Ts. I've got a 26 or 27 TT, and then I have like a 22 or so touring.
Right.
I don't. I got a picture actually on my Facebook. I have a picture up here of my TT with a little trailer I built and a little wrecker. I can show
Okay.
you that if you like.
Yeah, show us.
Let's see. Let me get this up here.
Zach is where I actually got my TT from. Headed down to Iowa there last fall and picked it up from him. He had picked it up for at an auction not too far from him, I guess.
Oh, okay. So you're responsible, Zach, for getting Vince into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving him the disease.
Yeah, he said he wanted a Model T, and I said, well, I can come up with that.
That's cool.
I found him one. All right, I'm trying to share that screen. I had to end the share I was doing. There we go. That's the picture across the top of my Facebook. So towards the background there, you see my TT, and then I made this little gooseneck trailer that's like a little miniature auto transport. It holds 2 of the little Shriner Model Ts on the top.
Yeah.
2 on the bottom. And then, of course, there's a couple of them sitting there. And then my wrecker, that's my pride and joy, that little tow truck I built. I built that from scratch, and it's a fully functional, fully operational tow truck. It's
What have you?
with
Gas.
a 6.5 horse engine, I believe. Hydrostat for forwards and reverse, and then all the boom lifts, rotates. It's got dual winches, dual outriggers, headlights, taillights, turn signals, arrow stick, light bar, you name it, and it all works. So
that's neat.
Everything miniaturized, huh?
Yeah. I'll see. Scroll here for a second and see if I have a better picture of it. Thought maybe I had a picture handy, but I don't.
Zach, is that the one is that the rig that got into the accident there?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Did you ever rebuild that trailer?
Yep. It's all fixed. It's quite happy that I'm done repairing it because I was driving home from a car show. Here's a picture of my Model T touring out on a cruise.
Okay.
I was cruising home from a car show about 20 miles from home, driving the TT, pulling a little trailer, and a semi truck ran right into the back of me.
Oh gosh.
Didn't stop, and the state trooper said he had 3 miles of visibility, so I'm sure the guy was on his phone.
Yeah.
Plowed right into the back side of me.
Gosh.
So that was a mess. It was a disaster. But it's all taken care of. I was trying to find a better up-close picture of the tow truck, but I don't. I got them all on my phone, but I don't know how to get them from the phone to the...
More technical difficulties. I think that's going to be our theme tonight.
Yeah. But if I scroll here long enough, there'll be a picture. So
no worries. You can take a look there. We'll I'm gonna pull that off the screen for a second, and
it's tough to see everything that Zach has. He's got so much stuff and a huge variety of interests and things. And probably the best bet, I guess, Zach, is to go down to your show down there in the spring, right?
That's right. Come check out the show. Matter of fact, I got if we want to dive into that, I actually got a couple of videos of that stuff pulled up here.
Sure.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you have a show in the spring. While he's bringing that up, Vince, tell us about the show.
The show in the spring. What do we got? It's kind of a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep, it's the weekend. Right? The weekend following Memorial Day. So whatever day Memorial Day is on for Monday, then our show starts that Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And he's got, it's you try to have a flea market kind of thing going on there, which I think is probably growing every year for you.
for sure.
And a number of different exhibitors and friends come down. You got a really large piece of property there. How many? Just the exhibition area has got to be a good 2 acres, I guess, right, Zach? Maybe 2.5 acres there.
Yeah, it's like 3 acres. Yep.
3 acres. Yeah. He's got a whole bunch of stationary exhibits. He's got a water wheel attached to the water wheel, ice cream maker, corn husking, corn shucking, I guess. What else? I don't know. I would say countless buildings. I guess there's not countless, but there must be half a dozen buildings without even getting to the shop for the shop tours.
Yeah, there's 13 or 14 buildings up there.
13 or 14 buildings.
Yep.
Many of them brand new buildings, beautiful looking buildings, huge areas with many antique engines inside of each one, and basically whatever interest that Zach has, he has in these buildings. He has stored inside these buildings all the different, from jukeboxes to string makers to, it's just amazing, including Maytags and Maytag engines. And, I think that what would interest most people would be the shop tour. Would interest people.
Yeah, sounds good.
If you want to jump back to Model Ts for a second, there's
Sure.
the little tow truck I built, lifting another little Model T behind it on a wheel lift to tow it.
Right.
Fully functional, does all that. And then here's a picture of it for fun with a big truck. And then the little truck, it's really hard to see in that picture, but the little truck is actually picking up a road grader. So the truck lifting a road grader. So that's kind of a fun little.
Yeah, that's neat.
What's that building? What's that building, Zach? Is that the shipping building?
Yeah, that's where we do all the shipping. So if you buy gas engine parts or whatever from us, that all get shipped out of that building in the background there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, not to keep jumping around between subjects, but to go to the show again, this is the train that we have that goes around the showgrounds. So here you'll be like you're riding on the train and kind of get a little bit of a view of the place. I jumped ahead to a certain spot here, but that's an old vintage gas station from like the 30s or 40s we put together. That's right ahead of it. And then after it makes the turn here, it will be passing the ice cream parlor on the left. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there by that tree. We'll be coming around the back side, and then this will be riding into the train station. So
if you wanted to see a bit of video of the show, I took video of the show on my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, Bag It Corner, you can probably revisit and have a look at the grounds there as well, and some of the activities. That'll be back. It'll be a YouTube video back in May, June, somewhere where I posted it.
Great. Well, that's quite the facility you've got there, Zach. So you manufacture mostly machined parts? Is that true?
Machined parts, castings, forgings, little bit of everything.
So you have your own foundry?
We do some foundry stuff. We pour our own zinc and Babbitt molds, but all of our cast aluminum, cast brass, and cast iron we have poured for us, and then machine it in the shop.
Right.
All the, like I said, zinc parts and Babbitt bearings and stuff, we cast all that in-house.
That can be a difficult thing for a lot of us to find. Do you guys sell Babbitts, Zach?
We do.
You do?
Yep, right on the website.
Yeah.
Nice. And so most of your machine parts then are brass?
Not all of them, but we do a lot of brass. We machine between 8,000 and 12,000 pounds of rod a week.
Wow.
And that for brass, and then whatever we do for aluminum and steel and everything else, plus casting. So it's quite a bit. Yeah,
I'll say. So what are some of the little brass parts you make that we can take a look at?
Let's get a
idiot me. I actually had a couple pet dogs here. I just don't know where I put them. That I stole out of Zach's place and shoved them in my pocket. So.
Yeah, so I can show you some videos here of some parts getting made. I believe this first video is making a little.
Can you present that again, Zach?
Yep.
Is that on the screw machine, Zach?
This is on one of our little CNC machines. I got some screw machine videos I can show you here. We'll just kind of go down the line. So this
it's absolutely fascinating when you go into Zach's shop. I don't think Zach really shows the shop in its entirety, but there is so much equipment in there. It's confusing actually. It's all very well placed, but it's so much. It's just such a whirring buzz of activity. It kind of throws you off, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, there's 60 machines in the shop.
60 machines.
Yep.
Not small ones, not little bench grinders either.
No, there's bench grinders, but most of them are pretty good sized machines.
Yeah.
Speaking of size of machines, I believe the next video after this, or maybe second video after this, is the biggest machine we have, our Gostaloo chucker. I'll show you a video of it. So there's the little part we just made on the lathe, getting screwed into a magneto housing to make the lead out tower. So that's an International L mag, and making the little lead out tower bushing for that.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, this is this video is showing the Gostaloo running. This is a machine that's, oh gosh, 20-some thousand pounds. It's a very hefty machine. And so that I'm setting a forging up on it. There's the forging in my hand, you can see. So this is a brass gauge for water column visibility on like a boiler or a tank, any kind of vessel or tank uses them, so they know how much either water or diesel fuel or hydraulic oil or whatever is in them. We sell hundreds and hundreds of them to the rail industry for train engines. They use tons and tons of our gauges for the rail. So that's what that machine is.
Now, how do you quality check those, Zach? Do you have NDT or because they're all pressure rated, right?
Yes. We don't. That particular gauge doesn't deal with very high pressure.
Oh, okay.
So we do pressure test them occasionally, but most of them are just atmospheric pressure. Although they are rated up to a couple hundred psi.
Right.
But as far as like quality control, they're measured with standard measurement tools, caliper, micrometer, thread gauges, thread wires, stuff like that.
Right. Cool.
And this next video here is one of the screw machines running. So you can see, well, that's me. But, fast forward to where it's actually making parts. So this is a 5-spindle.
All sold through Essex Brass, Zach?
Yeah, through us, Flywheel Supply, but
yeah,
we own Essex. We bought them out in 2018.
Yeah, that I guess that could be confusing for some people because you guys have acquired a few different companies, Essex Brass, Lightning Magneto, things like that, right?
Correct. So this is a 5-spindle screw machine. So it's making 5 parts at the same time, and it's a video doesn't do it justice. It's hard to tell what it's really doing it unless you're standing next to it. But that's spitting a part off every probably 10 seconds on the part that it's making. But we'll run it as fast as 5-second cycle times. Well, 4.8, 4.9 seconds. So you get a part off every 4.5, 5 seconds.
Sounds good.
So that's what a screw machine is.
Shop Cat has a question for you, Zach, on YouTube.
Okay.
So Zach, I think I'll be hitting you up for things like spark plug wire and boots, which you sell those, right, Zach? You sell plug wire and boots.
Yep.
And ends if shipping to Canada isn't too expensive. Well, we have this thing. We Zach and I haven't really talked about it, but I go down to the States enough times, Cat, that I know you're over around Edmonton there. but I'm across the border quite often, and I don't want to get into doing this full time, but if you want something, we can have Zach ship it up to the border. I can pick it up, bring it home, and send it over to you through Canada Post. The problem with which it always is, it's not just Zach. It's everything. Is whenever we try to order something across the border, we get hit with the importing charge there, which kind of kills us. So.
Mhm.
So this is we do ship to Canada. We ship to Canada and worldwide every day. So we can ship it right to you. But if you want to go through Vince and try to save a couple of bucks, then you're welcome to. I got probably 800 or 900 customers a day that would like to have Vince get the no. But I'm just kidding. But no, we do send a lot of stuff to Canada. So you can literally just go right on the website, place your order, and then we'll calculate the shipping to find the cheapest way to ship it to you, and then we'll get back with you for the shipping charges. And if it's too much, then we'll cancel the order for you. But unfortunately, we don't set the shipping prices. But it's not. If you're not shipping heavy stuff, it really isn't that expensive.
It's not too terrible. Yeah, if you're doing a $50 part or something, it's not a big deal.
Exactly. So, or if you're buying little things like spark plug wire ends and stuff, if you just buy enough of them to have a fair number in the box, then the shipping per piece isn't near as much.
And Zach, if you happen to be giving people some kind of a deal code or something, it would even make it cheaper, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. Speaking of deal code, we actually made one for tonight. So if you want to save on parts on the website, store wide between now and Saturday night at midnight, if you use the code 87867, maybe somebody will put that in the chat. 87867, then you'll save 15% on anything you buy on the website.
Oh, that's a good discount.
That's probably enough to get your Canadian stuff shipped for about the same price as a regular part.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Pretty close.
There you go, Kat. You can order up your spark plug wires and boots and everything else.
What about gear making? Do you have gear hobbing equipment?
We do. So we actually built our little gear hob machine. It's a little CNC machine we did project and built. I don't have a video of that running. I would be cool to show, but yeah, we made our own CNC gear hob a few years ago, and we make a lot of gears for hitting this engines, magneto gears, cam gears, timing gears, stuff like that.
Here, let me show.
You could make basically any gear, I guess, Zach. I mean, if somebody needed a timing gear, if somebody needed something for their Model T, you could basically do that. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the butt doing one-off stuff, but
yeah, we don't do a lot of one-off stuff. But if it was something I thought there was a demand for, I would do it. Yep. Yeah, there's some of the gears on the website that we make.
Oh, helical as well.
Yep.
And what about plastic parts?
We do some plastic parts. We do some vacuum thermoforming to make like the John Deere horse and a half 3 and 6 horse gas tanks is a vacuum thermoform part where they get the plastic hot and then suck it down with vacuum over a mold to shape the part. We do some plastic injection molding where a die is made and the plastic's injected into there.
Good.
We also do some roto molding, which is again a CNC machine mold, and then you put plastic pellets in it and get it hot, and you rotate it, the mold around in every direction.
Okay, yeah.
It gets gooey and soft, and then it coats it. Think like paint if it were in their gas tank liner.
Yep.
It goes around and coats every side of it, and you shut the heat off, it cures, and then you open the mold, and there's your part.
Okay.
And then we also do a part that's blow molded, which is, again, a mold, a machined mold, and then a a capsule is inserted. It looks a lot like a pill bottle, if you will. The pill bottle of plastic is slid in there, and then it gets hot, and then there's a air membrane in there that expands and blows it up to force the plastic out to fill the shape of the mold.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Milk jugs and I believe, but I know like pop bottles are blow molded.
Right. Oh, wow.
There's a couple of parts we do that are blow molded for engines.
Right. Now I saw some aluminum parts too, and I know you do cast iron and some steel. What kind of coatings and finishing processes? Like, do you have anodized for aluminum or painting for the steel parts?
Yeah, we paint a lot of steel parts, at least with a primer to keep them from rusting, or we just coat them with oil. A few things we do are powder coated, but otherwise we don't do a lot of coatings. Just don't have a lot of need to.
Right. Here's a note from Ben Johnson. His grandfather was foreman at Ottawa Steel Products Warner. Interesting. Yeah, I saw that on your website, all the parts you have for the Ottawa engines. Let's see. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Kat says might be worth making the plastic fuel tanks for 8 horsepower vertical shaft Briggs, or the metal ones. They have 3 rib metal plate on the side, unavailable as far as you can see.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, we don't do much for engines that are newer like that. Maybe someday, but right now we're chocked up with all the work we can hardly stand just making antique stuff. So
well, one day those will be old. One day those will be old engines too.
Exactly. As time goes on, that's how we get into new stuff. So
that's right.
I'm not saying we'll never make it. It's something we'll get to down the road.
Well, we'll definitely have to get the Model T gang together and figure out what parts are becoming no longer available that suit your manufacturing processes, because finding manufacturers, especially in North America, who are willing to make these parts is really valuable to us, because it's the only way we can keep our old cars on the road.
Right. Well, the cost of manufacturing really has found its way down. You know, as the cost of everything went up, the cost of manufacturing prices have really drove up the cost of making these old parts, just like the cost of food at the grocery store or whatever, because
everything goes up. Everything goes up for everybody. I mean, that's just how it works.
Make parts, and you got to pay them. You got to buy the raw material the same as they do for making automotive parts or making anything else. So, unfortunately, some of these prices have really gone up the last couple of 3-4 years.
Ben Johnson was saying a good hit and miss engine fuel tank makes a wonderful Model T mountain fuel tank. He must be kind of referring to like a front mount fuel tank, right, Stephen?
I think he's referring to the mini tank you use for going up hills.
Yeah.
So you don't have a fuel feed problem.
I was using a what was I using? A Power Products tank, an old steel, round steel tank, kind of looks. I was using that for a temporary tank on the Model T for the first half a year while I was kind of dialing stuff in. But yeah, I kind of wondered why. I assume they did actually have that, Stephen. I always wondered why they wouldn't have it, but I assume they did. They would have an auxiliary tank kind of up front in case they were going up a hill or something.
That was an accessory you could buy, or a lot of people, I'm sure, just whip something up. Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Ben confirms for steep hills, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. That is neat.
Oh,
he's like the one on the screen. I think he's referring to that.
This one right here. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing in the wrong place. This one right here.
Yeah, that spring isn't going to hold a lot of, but that tank might.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course the valves, I'm sure, is a big part of your business, and we're always looking for those. Where did I see that?
Yeah, that would be another thing. Is just you guys are making valves, right? Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Zach? Yeah.
Yep, we make a lot of valves. a lot of petcocks, a lot of drain valves. My Model Ts all have a little petcock like this one on there where it screws into pipe thread and then converts it to the compression fitting here for the fuel line. I've got these on my two Model Ts for fuel shut off, so I can just shut the fuel off if I want to.
And yeah, I mean, you have the other petcocks you can use for the oil checks, things like that too, right?
Yep. These, like this one right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but that top row second from the right, that's the same exact thing, only smaller thread, but that's what goes on Model T for the drain valve for checking in the oil.
Right. So who does all your engineering, Zach? Do you design all these parts yourself and do all your own drawings and stuff?
Well, thankfully, usually you only have to design a part once. You just produce it a lot of times. So yeah, there's two of us or three. Well, I guess there's 3 or 4 of us that do part design here and process planning. And then I've got about 3 different people that set the majority of the machines up out in the shop. And then the rest of the people are operators and running them. So
fantastic. It seemed like any time when I was there, Zach, basically almost anyone in that shop has learned what they're doing or has learned their vocation just by doing it on the job and just by experiencing it, right? I mean, do you have? Oh yes. Yeah, right. So
we train them from the ground up pretty much every time because they need to know what we need them to know, and I don't need a college degree. I don't need you to have a college degree to come here, but I need to teach you a bunch of stuff so you're smart and can do what we need to do. So
right.
Absolutely. Lots on the job training. Lots. Every day. We'll teach you everything from running a forklift and how to sweep a floor to how to program a machine and set it up. If you want to learn it, we'll teach you.
I was there in the spring running a garbage bag and a broom, and that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Hey, now don't discredit it. Vince was the guy here this spring at the show making the ice cream. So
he's learning on the job, Vince.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
new career.
Gained 5 pounds that week.
Speaking of the show, if we go back to the show topic for a moment, I got a video up here I can show you of us putting corn in our corn crib the other day.
Oh yeah.
This is a wagon load of ear corn getting loaded up into. Whoops! I clicked on the wrong thing. Share screen. Here we go. This is like I said, the corn crib getting filled with our old. I think it's I don't remember what brand that elevator is, but anyway, it's old, but it still works. So there you can see the corn going up in the crib, and then at the show we set that up and shell it. And I'm not so sure right here if I share this. I believe this video will show some of the shelling happening. So there, we're taking the ear corn up the elevator. We're dropping it in the husker. The husker's removing all the leaves from the ear of corn. And then it's going to be running through the sheller.
I think it's not a far reach that something that you had mentioned earlier, Stephen, where guys that have Model Ts or very old vehicles, 100-year-old vehicles like us, also have a bit of a fascination with old equipment.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Stuff's all.
It was part and parcel, really. I think
it is. Yeah. Yeah, I've always said to my guys, we haven't really invented anything new except computers in the last 100 years.
That's about it. Isn't it funny how far we really kind of haven't come?
I think you're absolutely right.
That is neat.
So there's, for the John Deere guys that follow Vince, there's a John Deere paddle elevator back there running with a 3-horse John Deere on it.
Yeah, check that out.
Background. And my little miniature gravity wagon to haul the corn away. That's the John Deere paddle elevator right there. That's a pretty neat piece.
Some of the miniature stuff you have, Zach, is it's done so well that it almost fools a guy into think that maybe they produce something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I just stumbled across this particular video, but it's kind of neat. This was almost a year ago. This is the day they poured the floor in my new shed. This is the building that I put a lot of my engine collection in right here. So there's about 10,000 square foot here in total, but that was the day or night they poured it. And then here, this video is showing the building after we got everything in it. And if it'll play, there we go. There's a little Ryder Erickson hot air pumping engine. So as you can see, we're not just in the hobby just to sell them parts and make money off it. This is also my passion, my hobby. I love playing with old engines. I love getting new people into it. I love seeing kids come into the hobby. We go to a lot of shows a year, and all the shows that we go to selling parts, we actually give away a Maytag engine every day at the shows, every single day to a kid, somebody 18 years of age or under.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a lot of fun and really neat to see the kids getting interested in it. So there's I believe that's a 25 horse Superior running on propane right there.
Nice.
That's since been exhausted out of the building since we got that in there and running, but yeah.
Hard to believe that was just when did you say that you poured that floor?
That floor was poured December of last year, so almost a year ago.
Yeah. By the time I had got there in May, that whole building was basically full already. Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Well, time to build another shop, I guess, another building.
Well, there's a new building here already since then. But,
there is?
Yeah, it's not done yet, but
Oh.
it's mostly done.
That's amazing.
Pretty easy place to find. You basically, from where I am in Manitoba, Canada, you head directly south. Don't take any turns until you get to Iowa, and turn left, which would be east towards Craig, and you're right there. What is it, about a half hour, I guess, off of 75, I guess it is. Not that far.
Off the interstate, off I-29.
Yeah, not that far.
Yep. One of the things we do at the show every year is we make little hey, search up model engine on the website there while you're doing that. So
grease cups, various sizes. I wonder if Zach makes the largest size grease cup that we would use, which is the greaser for the one on the back of the trans there.
That big ball joint. Yeah.
Yeah, we make a lot of grease cups. I put all brass grease cups on mine just for fun. So go to that top row, grab the third one over, 2022 right there, and click on that. So every year at the show, here at our show, which is the website for the show is gospelandgasengines.com. There's a link to it right at the top of that webpage that you're on. But every year during the show, we set up all the machines in the shop and we produce a little engine. So in 2022, this was the little engine we did then. And it's a little steam engine, or runs off air. And this particular model was actually double acting, so it pushed the piston forwards and backwards.
Right.
And we've made them progressively a little fancier and a little fancier. If you click that, where over on the right hand side it says recommended, the second one down right there, Yep, that's the 2024. That's the one we made this year. It was the most popular one by about probably 5-to-1 ratio. We probably sold 5 times more engines this year than we did any other year, but we made the nicest looking one. I thought I was just doing a little thing to show kids, how an engine worked or how steam worked.
Yeah.
And it really took off that kids and adults like to assemble a little engine and get their hands dirty and have something to do. So every year we make these little kits. We basically sell them at cost, and just a way to get people involved. So if I go back to sharing my screen for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the very first year we did it in 2020. This was the engine that we built that year, and it's just a video of it running. So you can see what it looked like and what they look like when they run. So all the little model engines are available on the website. And if you use that discount code 87867, you could save 15% off of one of these too.
Neat. Great Christmas gift.
Yeah. Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers. We've sold them to groups like the Boy Scouts or whatever, or a school class that wants to have a little hands-on learning experiment for something to put together, for 10, 15, 20 kids, whatever. All kinds of stuff.
Cool.
Ben asks, what about an oiler cup for the steering that opens to a grease port for the guys that want the look of oilers but the convenience of grease? Similar
We've done
grease
that.
Pardon me, what's that?
We've done those before. So there's 2 ways you can go about it. I think what Ben's asking is just a regular plain grease cup, and then on the inside when you take the lid off, I've drilled and tapped them to take a grease zerk. So you never actually fill the cup with grease. You just screw the cap off, and then
Right.
the hidden grease port, and you can give it a couple pumps of grease and stick the cap on for looks. The other thing we've done is we make automatic grease cups that are the same grease cups that Essex made for over 100 years. We make, and they're spring loaded, so you fill them with grease, and then as the machine runs, more grease is pushed in by the pressure the spring exerts to force the grease in. And so then we've put grease zerks on the bottom of those, so they're refillable, so you can grease your bearing or axle or steering or whatever all the time, like it's positive pressure lubricated with the grease.
Right.
And then when you're done and you need to fill it again, there's a grease zerk to just refill the grease cup with a grease gun real easy, instead of having to take it off and scoop it full.
Okay.
So we've done both. Depends on what you're doing. If you're going on a long tour, cruising, and going to cover quite a few miles, then that might be a good solution to have an automatic grease cup. But if you want to stay original and authentic, then that's exactly what I'm talking about. The grease cup, number 1 improved automatic. That's the one we add a grease zerk fitting to on the bottom.
Okay.
And
Very cool.
The one at the top right there, that brass grease cup, that's what I'm talking about, of hiding a zerk on the inside.
Yeah.
You can dispense it that way. And then while you're there, I have another video, if I can find it here. Okay. Go back to your screen for a minute, if you can. And that second grease cup down on the right-hand side, they might think that would be kind of cool. If you click on that, that's a grease cup for an international McCormick Deering M engine. They're left-handed threads that they're backwards thread on the cut part. So when the engine's running, you just grab it and it tightens up a little bit. But people might think this is cool. So here's a video of that actually getting made. So we have to mill that hex onto the body of the grease cup as it after we turn it, because the hex is smaller than the
right
body. So here's the video of that getting positioned in the CNC and doing that milling on the 4th axis.
Right. I forgot about that, Zach. Those M's have that on the end of the cranks, right? Where it's kind of, you just kind of grab it and let it spin a little bit in your hand.
That's correct. Can you switch over to my screen now to share?
Sure.
And then there's the video of that getting milled. It's kind of hard to see down in there with the coolant going, but that it'll mill one side, and then that'll rotate, and it'll mill another side, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Zach, Ben is asking about the little flip top caps where that you put oil in, like for the steering linkage.
Yep.
You have those little oiler, what do they call them? Oil, not grease cups, but oiler cups.
Yeah, oil cup. So go back to the website and search GITS on the website, and you'll see that.
GITS, yeah.
Yep.
Like that?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the little spring-loaded cap filler that Ben is asking about. We have those in all kinds of sizes.
So you make those? You stamp them out?
Yep, those are stamped.
Amazing. You guys do just about every process imaginable.
Do you do any custom machining jobs too, Zach, or is that kind of something you stay away from? Or
We pretty much try to stay away from it. We got enough work doing what we're doing that it's hard to kind of keep up with as it is. Yeah. And then if I can go back to see the segue for this is I didn't have enough kids because the kids are really learning to be involved and help with stuff. So here's our second oldest daughter in this video running some parts. Basically, as soon as they can walk, I'll show you this video where they can come out in the shop and help with what you're doing.
It's still just the four, Zach. Right?
You'll need to. There we go.
More.
What? Yeah, no, I don't really need any more. I'm kidding. But there's Alexa, and she's gonna start this machine. There we go. Now it's gonna make a part. And, yeah, that was a few years ago. This was an old mill I had at the old shop. This is a long time ago, but
so they learned G code before
they yeah. So that's a really old machine. I don't even have it anymore, but I still have a kid. So
oh, that's great.
Fun times. And I believe this is another little part getting made. Here's a little video if you want to see something else. Might spark up some more discussion on something. I'm not even totally sure what this is making. We'll have to figure that out. Come on over, Ben. We'll fix you up. There's got to be something we can sell you. Don't forget to 878-67, and you can save 15% off whatever you want to buy.
Yeah, well, the more you spend, the more you save. So
that's right. It's almost
it's time for the hard sell here. I'm gonna have to change my terms with YouTube here and say that it's a sponsored video.
That's right.
Now this is so interesting. There's so many different processes that you guys manufacture. It's just incredible.
That was making a pushing, I guess, there. So.
Yeah, this would be very much into your realm, I guess, Stephen, right?
Oh yeah, no, I recognize all this from parts we've designed but had manufactured.
Here's a big turret lathe. This is manual machining, but on a turret lathe, and this is making a large brass valve gauge body, I believe, is what it was making.
Right.
What's the just thinking back onto that that grease cup, what's the largest diameter grease cup you currently make?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm looking in the book. Largest one would be like 2.5 inch inside diameter, so like 2 3/4 outside diameter approximately.
That might be close, right, Stephen? I can't recall what those.
Yeah, I'd have to measure, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good size grease cup.
I'll have to get nice brass ones to replace all my rusty steel ones, at very least.
Yep.
I can't remember, Zach. Are you guys making drip oilers too, or no?
Yep, we make all kinds of lubricators, both cylinder oilers and bearing oilers.
Yeah, those are kind of
Different
unique.
being if they have a check valve or not.
It's too bad we don't use anything like that on the tees. Some of those drip oilers are really really beautiful looking.
Yeah, they really are. Here, I'll show you.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for all the questions as well.
So now, if Ben's leaving, does that just make him a has-been?
Ouch.
Ben.
See you, Ben.
Engine oiler, yeah, check valve.
Yeah, there you go. There's the oiler.
Right on. All right. Well, I think it's getting time to start thinking about wrapping this up. If anyone has questions, now's your chance. Type them into the chat. Otherwise, I'm sure there's a contact us on the website. Yep, there is right here.
Oh, yeah.
So you can always get in touch and or get in touch with Vince or myself, and I'm sure we can get a hold of Zach as well. But I'm definitely going to go over the car and think about some of the parts that I find hard to find or I'd like improvements on or anything like that, because I think, Zach, you can make just about anything. And as long as we can get a big enough group together or get one of the vendors involved, we can
I'm sensing
introduce some new parts here. It gives me something to design up.
I'm sensing a website, the Flivver website with the Flivver collection.
All the parts.
All those parts that people are running out of and people need. There's always an opportunity.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Now, have you ever seen or heard of a turret drill press?
Yep.
That video was a turret lathe.
Mm-hmm.
This video here, this is a turret drill. Kind of a cool little machine we have in the shop. Well, it's not so little. It's probably, I don't know what it weighs, but it's stout.
Yeah, let's see.
If I get it to pull up here, click the wrong thing there. And then I got one other thing I was going to close with to show you a new thing we were developing to come out with that I think you guys will find cool. But for the moment, this is a turret drill, some brass. So this will do 6 different operations. It can do 5 different. The way it's set up right now, it's doing up to 4 drills in one thread, but you can actually do threading in any position, so you can do multiple threads at the same time. And, not a CNC machine, but it's all
cam logic.
It's automatic.
Yeah.
It's just cams and lobes and limit switches.
Yeah.
The accuracy of that rotation just astounds me, really. How it gets back to 0 every time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got an indexing wheel inside, I'm sure. Yeah.
That was making a hammer.
It's a hammerhead. Oh yeah, brass hammerhead.
Yeah, go on the website, type search for brass hammer. They're on there.
Yeah.
They should be. You can see we make little brass hammers. We sell tons of them. And the last thing I was going to show you is a little idea I concocted and dreamt up. Oh, there you go. There's the hammer right there. So you can get your own brass hammer. We make those. It's probably the only brass hammer made in America, as far as I know. I don't know.
Very possible.
Could be.
There probably isn't too many that get made in America.
Other than custom-made ones that someone might can make in their shop, that's about it, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing on a large scale. It's
So,
it's terrible, really. You're the outsourcing of America, the outsourcing of North America, and here you are making parts in America, right? I mean,
right.
if you're not going to, you really should support the little guy. It's just like supporting somebody in your own home, realistically, just on a larger scale in your own country. So.
Yeah.
That's right. If you don't do it here, it's going to go offshore, go to China.
It's going to leave. It's going to leave.
Yep. So the last couple years, I've always had this idea rolling around in my head. I like to go to car shows with my Model T or whatever, but you know, the difference between like a car show and an engine show is like an engine show, you've got your engine there and you're playing with it. You know, you got something to do. You go to a car show and you drive there, you park your car, and then it's kind of done. You know, not anything to keep your hands busy.
Right.
And I like to be busy, so I always had this idea of making something out of an engine that you could display at a car show or at an engine show, or just let the kids play with. And so this is what I had come up with. And if you switch back over to my screen, I'll show you. So this is a Maytag engine inside a tractor to look like a prairie tractor, and it's gas powered and it's fully remote control. So here I'm driving it with the remote. This is out at the Portland, Indiana show in August. But you'll see I can stop and go and turn and everything right from the remote, and just cruising around with the little tractor. So we're going to produce this. We're going to produce these and sell these. We're doing R&D right now, working on the gearbox and everything. So I'm hoping to have production models available by sometime in the spring.
Neat.
That's neat. Zach. I'll have one with my truck then. I'll put one in mine. It'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I think anybody who knows the story about me and this TT that I picked up from Zach, the whole reason I got it was just to put engines in the back of it to take it to antique engine shows around here.
Yeah.
I really wasn't looking forward to getting more into some other hobby, but you know how that goes.
It spills into something else rather quickly, doesn't it?
Oh, when you got guys like us that keep dragging you in, like it or not.
That's right. Yeah, it's hard. And you know, you always meet another nice group of people. Anyways, you're always meeting nice people. So.
Yep. Right on. Well, that's really neat, Zach. Thank you. So I think we'll wrap things up here. Thanks for joining us tonight, Zach. It was really interesting, and I'm sure I'll be in touch with you with some ideas. Like you need more ideas, but hey.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And all the viewers, thanks for joining. And we'll see you in 1 month's time, first Thursday of every month. And who knows what we'll be talking about next, but it'll be interesting, I'm sure.
Don't forget, if you want that discount code for the website, one last time, it's 87867 for flywheel-supply.com. 87867.
Very good.
We will get that up. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, guys. We're going to end the stream.
Yep. Good night.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.